right, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back here to another episode of the Easy Money Sports Podcast. Of course, me myself as always saying this here. Got my guy Dupree here with me. What's going on, Brody?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. How you doing, man? How you doing? I know I don't. How you doing?
Man, look, I feel like the past few weeks, bro. I don't even know what day it is right now.
I understand.
I've been on go, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just a whole lot of transitioning and everything like that, man. So it's been cool though, man. It's been
Yeah,
cool. Obviously, just man dealing with this summer heat, bro, and
boy.
I mean, it comes out and it's raining. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's raining and everything like that, but it turns around and gets humid. And now, then it goes back to being 90 degrees or 95 degrees, 96 degrees, but it feels like 105,
Yeah,
110. So it's just like, man, I'm hoping we can get a decent, just like actual fall weather, man. Where it's like just you ain't gotta be cold, but you know what I'm saying. It's just
yeah.
nice outside where you can just do whatever you want to do, bro.
Crisp. Yeah,
For
crisp.
sure, for sure,
Nah,
for sure.
I got you.
Oh man, how you living though, bro?
Good, man. We close, man. We close to it. We about to get cranked up here pretty soon. Um, Debbie rolled through earlier today. At least through where I'm at here in North Carolina. It hit the coast a couple of
Mm.
days ago. So in South Carolina, North Carolina, but Debbie rolled through and knocked some trees over, knocked the tree over right outside um, where I live and over by the school and everything. So it's calmed down right now. Nothing's going on right now, but outside of that, man, good man. Ready for football season. Ready to get cranked up. You talking about fall, man? It's starting to get that little itch, that little yeah. It's almost there.
Uh huh.
It's an exciting time for sure. Exciting time.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, definitely. I mean, man, shot, but prayers to everybody that was out there dealing with and still is dealing with the hurricane and hurricane season because this is really kind of the right in the meat of it. I think we still got another couple months, dealing with hurricane season. So man, it's definitely a crazy time out here because it's a whole lot of stuff going on all over,
Yeah,
all over the country for sure. I mean, I know the West Coast been dealing with wildfires and everything like that. And it's been super hot, down here and out everywhere like that. So I mean, it's been a crazy time. So hopefully everybody what I'm saying, got their minds right and everything together, man. But you're right. I mean, we in August now. I know it's been a little minute
hmm
since we had the podcast, man. But we in August now. Obviously, we getting closer and closer to football season. So everybody's getting very very excited. While we got that going on, obviously, the Olympics in Paris is getting ready to wind down, man. Going to the last few days, a whole bunch of medals has been given out in all types of sports, man. Team USA had a real big scare today from from the Serbia team. It was
yeah.
it it looked real bleak going into that fourth quarter, man. They were down by as many as 16 at
17.
one point. So yeah, they're 17. So it was looking real scary, man. But of course, when you got a lot of the best players in the world on one team, you would think that they'll figure it out to find a way. And eventually, man, they did, and the stars prevailed, man. So, shout out to Team USA, the men's team, man, getting that hard earned victory over Serbia, man. 95-91, I believe. And it means to get them into the gold medal game against the host French team who pulled off a good one themselves against Germany. I thought Germany might be the team that would get to the championship, or well, I would say in the beginning before everything started, I saw the three of those teams that I thought could do something would be France, Germany, or Canada, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously. France took care of Canada, and left for Germany and France. So obviously it was gonna be one of those guys. So that was set up for Victor Wembanyama and all those guys to take on LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant,
Boy,
in
boy,
in,
boy.
in, in the USA team. It's gonna be crazy,
Yeah,
right? Because obviously there's a whole lot of fans that's just that knows about the USA squad just because of the guys are in the NBA. But then you got friends that's the host country in the finals. I don't know if it's ever, well, I don't say ever, but that I can remember in my lifetime where the host country has been in the finals for men's basketball. Because I don't think Japan was in Tokyo. I don't think England, or I guess that'd be Great Britain. I'm not sure if they were
London, yeah.
there for the London Olympics or Brazil. I don't think they made it down there for the Rio Olympics. So I mean, I don't, yeah, I don't think, now that I know of, is to see where the host team is there in the final. So this is gonna be it's gonna be exciting to see that come Saturday for sure. I think everybody's gonna be glued to their TVs for that one. Uh, the women's national team is in the semifinals tomorrow. Can't remember exactly who they're playing. Is it? No, it was Nigeria that they defeated in the
Yeah,
quarters.
I know.
Um,
I'm looking. Go ahead.
I can't remember right exactly, but I mean, man, a whole lot of things has been going on in the Olympics. I mean, from weightlifting to water polo, handball, all type of man, different Olympic
Yeah,
sports, man. So, what would it be?
Australia.
Australia. Okay, got you. So, they got their semifinals matchup against Australia. What, the women are now up to, what, 59 straight uh Olympic Games win streak, 59, I believe. So they trying to keep that streak going, man. There's this, and that's gonna be tough to beat. But we'll see with that. Hopefully, that good luck to them, and hopefully they'll get it done, and they can make their way to the gold medal game as well. Um, Man, track and field has been going crazy, bruh. I mean, all kind of stuff, man. What moments have stuck out to you so far in the Olympics for you?
Uh, I got a couple moments, man. The first one that comes to mind is what happened earlier today. Um, just watching that game, and like you said, seeing how they were down. I was sitting at the barbershop. The barber put the game on. They were down by 13, and it's like, oh man, like don't do this, don't do this right now. And those guys, Serbia, man, shout out to Jokic, Bogdanovic, like shout out to those guys. They they were shooting the lights out. I mean, they every time they shot a three, it was like it was going in. Um, but Steph Curry, man, Steph Curry put the team on his back, had 36 points. Saw a stat that the last 13 points was scored by KD, Steph Curry, or LeBron James. You had three leaders leading the way. Even though with this being Steph's first Olympics, um, it was just good to see the resolve and good to see. That's what USA basketball is about. Like you bringing the best players from the NBA, the best players in the country, to go and play and represent the country. When you get down in those situations, it's like, all right, man, like this is what it's about. Like
Yeah, yeah. This is why we got y'all here. Yeah.
this is why you here, man. Like let's go do it. So that's definitely one, man. Another one is Grant Holloway winning the 110 men's hurdles. I ran the 110 hurdles in high school. I love that event. I love watching it, and I've been following Grant Holloway for a while, and since he was at Florida, and I know, especially getting silver in the I can't remember. 2020 was what was 2020? 2020 was in
Tokyo. So actually
Tokyo.
21, but
21, yeah.
yeah,
Tokyo,
yeah.
he got silver in Tokyo, and I know he wasn't happy about that, and you could tell just by the way he was running in those heats, man. He was blazing. I mean, he was smoking people in those heats, and he did the same thing as well. Another shout out to Gabby Thomas for winning the 200 meter for the women's 200 meter. Uh, Somebody else who definitely was waiting for this opportunity to be able to get a gold medal. I was happy to see that she won. A lot of these that time difference, man. I want to see these finals, and the time difference be throwing me off, man. Um, I definitely want to see that one. But shout out to Gabby Thomas, man. I'm happy for her as well. The fact that she was able to get the W as well. Um, and then I caught the end of the um, women's soccer their game against Germany. And watching them. I'm watching them get that W in extra time and be able to advance to the gold medal game as well. There's been a lot of good events, man. A lot of good things going on. From track and field to swimming, um, the regular indoor volleyball, the U.S. team they beat Brazil and made it to the gold medal match. But I think the one that probably intrigued me the most um, was the women's 100 and the men's 200. The men's 200 just happened today, but the women's 100 and the men everything that's been going on the women's side with the short distance runners from Jamaica not being able to run or bowing out, and having Miss Alfred win for St. Lucia, winning the women's 100, and then I don't want to try to pronounce my man's name. I don't want to mess it up, but um, Botswana winning the 200 today, a race that
Is it Tobago, something like that. That's it. Yeah, yeah,
winning the 200 today, upset. I mean, major upset, and both of these are upsets, but major upset in the 200 um, with Tobago winning against Noah Lyles, running right next to him, and it wasn't even close. To be honest, he wasn't even in the picture for a silver in my estimation. What happened, I don't know, but those are, and I know I named a lot, man, but it's just it's just in times like these, it's good to have a sense of pride about what's going on, and seeing people go across the world and represent for your country and other countries as well, man. Like you can tell how much it means. You can tell how much it means to everybody that's competing. They want to win and they want to win for themselves, but they want to win and represent their country too. So it's a cool thing, man. The Olympics are always cool to watch.
yeah, for sure. I mean, you got to think, right, man. Julia Alford probably whenever she gets a chance to go back to St. Lucia, bro, yeah,
Sorry, man.
that man. I said, I told my girl, man, I said she's not going to ever worry about buying another meal, getting
Yeah,
another drink, like. They probably gonna name some stuff after her, like for real, bro. Like she's like etched in stone as a legend there now for sure.
sure.
Like it,
Easy, easy.
like like no doubt, no doubt. I'll tell you about another legend, bro. Miss Sydney McLaughlin,
Oh, how did I miss that? Bro.
world record, 50.87 in a 400 hurdles. 50.37
She's gonna
in a 400 hurdles.
she's gonna break
Think about that, bro.
she's gonna break 50. She's 25.
Think
She's gonna
about that.
break 50.
20. She ain't. She's still young. That's the crazy thing. She hadn't even really hit prime, and she's already pretty much the greatest women's hurdler like
She's gonna break,
ever,
bro. She ran a 53.
bro. Like
A 50.
they I think one time it was her. I think it was her semifinals heat, but they did a side by side of her Olympic run from Tokyo
Mm-hmm.
from the hurdles compared with the open 400,
Okay.
and she was with the hurdles, she was in the thick of the race even at the stagger, bro. Like she wasn't there to obviously like be there like in medal distance, but just think about her having to jump over those hurdles And the fact that even with that, she was in the picture
Yeah,
of the race in the open 400. So just imagine
and
if she could be.
she's still running the 400 too, the open four.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I haven't. She probably is. I don't. I didn't. Really, I hadn't catch any of the heats like you said, bro. It's kind of
Yeah.
at times it's kind of hard to catch it like live and in action. So all I can kind of catch is just a couple videos here and there and everything like that. Or I try to come home and watch it myself once they kind of replay it a little bit. But
Mhm.
tough, man. But yeah, for sure. Sid, man. I mean, even though she didn't get gold, man. You got to get your hats off to Shakira Richardson.
Mhm.
In her first Olympics, especially hearing the story of what happened with her and Shelley Frazier and Price on how they wouldn't let them go into the athlete's interest, and it took them like it would have took an hour just to get to wherever they needed to get to. So basically, for her to go out there without a legit warm up and still come in second, man,
Yeah.
you got to give her, they got to give her some props just because it's her first Olympics. Because she should have been in there, for the Tokyo Olympics, but of course the drug test mishap and everything like that. But man, you can just tell, bro. If she can get off those first like 5 to 10 meters a little bit faster,
It's a start.
uh,
If she can finish
that's it.
start, it's over.
That's it, bro.
So,
That's it.
uh,
That's it. If she can just get that, but man, yeah, shout out to Shakari, man. Like you said, all everybody that's accomplishing everything, bro. I'm not a big field event guy, except for really maybe like the long jump is kind of like one I'm pretty sure, and the high jump is one that I like going into.
okay.
But man, I gotta give credit to what credit is due, bro. Mondo Duplantis. So his mom and dad are both Swedish, so he represented Sweden in the Olympics. But he's born and raised in Louisiana. Went to LSU actually at the same time as Shakari Richardson
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Pole vault, broke his own world record, 6.25 meters, which I think equaled up to like 20 feet 6 inches. So this dude is like that's like buildings. You feel me? That he's like pole vault over,
Yeah.
bro. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Like
Yeah.
crazy. Like he had the gold already wrapped up. He goes over to his mom and dad and he was like, "Yo, what you think I should do?" And his dad was just like, "Go break your record."
Go for it.
And on the third, I think it was either a second or a third try, and he got it. And I was just like, this is crazy, man. But honestly, bro, like like you said, that's what the Olympics is all about. The fact that you get to see some of these guys and girls from different countries that we don't see that often, or even sports that we may not get a chance to always see from time to time, unless obviously you're an avid fan of that sport and everything like that. But just seeing that and seeing these stories about these athletes, man, and just how hard they work to get to this moment
Hmm.
that only comes every 4 years. So
Yeah.
you just never know if you ever get another opportunity. And like obviously, I think that was this Olympics was going to be the last time that we got a chance to see Shirley
Shit,
Shirley from Asia, Price. So it's just like
it's tough.
that's yeah, kind of tough that that it ended out like that. Not really her actually getting to be on the track to figure out, to let it be settled that way, man. So, um, but obviously, can't wait. We still got a couple of the all. I think all of the relays are still
Yeah, the relays.
need to be ran. The relays
The
are being
win,
ran.
they won their first heat. I haven't seen them. I think the men's won their first heat as well. I think.
Yeah.
I know
So
women's heat. I didn't see the men's.
yeah, theirs might be tomorrow or
Yeah. Okay.
some. Who knows? I know they really been alternating most of these days. So, but obviously, man, we got the relays for there coming up. Of course, waiting. Now we know who's in the gold medal game for men's basketball. We'll be figuring that out for women's tomorrow. So it's nearing an end. But man, it's been a great 2024 Olympics, and obviously now
Mm.
coming in 26, you got the Winter Olympics. Can't remember exactly where that is, but
It's,
obviously,
I just saw it. Oh my gosh.
but we know about the 28 Olympics will be on U.S. soil in Los Angeles, so uh that'll be fun to see. I think it's been a minute since the Olympics has been over here in the
It's in Milan. The
in the
winter
U.S.
Milan
Winter Olympics is in Milan, so and
over
then
in
of course in
Italy.
28 is in L.A. and that's gonna be interesting to see for sure. So can't wait for that. Um, and then come what 2034, I believe the Winter Olympics will be in Salt Lake City. So we'll have a little 6 year span to where Olympics will be on U.S. soil, and that'll be fun to see and everything like that. So
Mhm.
can't wait for that, man. But as we moving on here, obviously, like we said in the beginning of the show, we in August, so we know it's football season. We all juiced up. We ready. We can't wait. We sitting up here watching preseason games, even though we know it don't matter, it don't count. We watching that. We sitting up here looking at all the little preseason predictions and polls and looking at all these numbers and everything like that. And it's just everybody is ready, man. They can't wait. I think we're about coming up on what maybe 2 weeks for college football season. Week zero, I think, is August 24th. Yeah,
Yep.
week zero is August 24th. So that's big, and then 2 weeks after that is pretty much the NFL season kicking off. So,
Yeah, on the 7th
uh, yeah. So
for the 8th.
we all can't wait for that. We all can't wait for that, man. It's gonna be a dandy. So that's that, man. So, obviously. In the NFL, everybody looks to see what Vegas is talking about and how their numbers are looking and everything like that, man. So, uh, what we're gonna be doing here probably over these next couple of episodes with the NFL is just kind of instead of really just breaking down maybe each division and everything like that, we'll just pick out a certain few teams as far as like their win totals and maybe a few positions and guys about their, you know, whatever yardage total they might be, whether it be running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers, however it may be. We just go from there. So that'd be something we'll do for the next couple of episodes, man. And, hopefully we get y'all inputs on it once these get posted to YouTube and all the social medias and everything like that. So we'll just go right into it with some of these win totals, man. So if I'm not mistaken, first thing we got let's say the Cincinnati Bengals. They have their win total over under at 10.5. Um, Obviously, that's kind of I don't want to say it's a high number, but that number is there for a reason, just because they're banking on a healthy Joe Burrow and everything else to see what they got. Which 10.5 is really not a bad line, just because the Bengals went 9-8 last season, and this was with Joe Burrow missing pretty much a good portion of the season, dealing with that elbow injury. So the fact that they still kind of finished above 500 lets you know how good I guess the roster improved. But obviously, missed the playoffs. They want to be in contention after being in the AFC Championship for the last 2-3 seasons. So, um, what you think? Over under on that 10.5, 10.5 there for the Bengals.
It's gonna be tough, man. One, they're in probably the best division of football, tough division of football. Being the AFC North, having to play the Browns, the Steelers, and the Ravens twice. That's going to be tough. They got the AFC West as a draw, and they got the NFC East as a draw. So those two divisions, obviously Kansas City, I believe that the Raiders will be improved. Got to figure out the quarterback situation there. I think the Chargers will be improved with John Harbaugh. 10.5. I wish I could push, but you can't push 10.5. I'm gonna say over. I'm gonna say over by one. I can see I can see 11. It's some of these games are gonna be tough. Having to play Philly now, they get Philly at home. They get Philly at home. They have to travel to Dallas. They have to go to Kansas City. Have to go to LA. Um, so. some of those games are going to be tough, but I'll go over. I'll go over for the Bengals. I'll say 11.
Uh, yeah, it, it's a tough line just because I mean, like you said, just the fact that they're in the AFC North, that division is hardest itself, and it's kind of funny, right? Like Cincinnati has been very successful the past few seasons, but they can't beat Cleveland to save their to save their,
They can.
they can't beat Cleveland. They can't beat Cleveland like at all. So it's just like it's funny that it's that. But I mean, also at the same time though, they technically they did finish fourth.
Mm-hmm.
So they do get the fourth place schedule. So it's not. I mean, their division is strong, but they do get they are getting a chance to play teams like New England and play the Titans and everything like that. So they do get all those fourth place teams, and that gives you a little edge. And then obviously, a healthy Joe Burrow is gonna be the key. Lost Joe Mixon, but clearly, obviously, you still got Jamar Chase and you still got Joe Burrow. Um,
T. Higgins is still
and T. Higgins is still there. So I mean,
sign him
and hey,
anyway.
and the defense, man, and the defense, is improving year in and year out. So is that offensive line improving year in and year out. So um, I'm with you. I think I'm gonna go with the over two. I'll take the 11 and go over just because I'm pretty sure it might be a couple of teams who were playoff teams last year that I don't think
Okay.
could possibly get back or may take a step back or anything like that. So it's hard. It's hard to say. Or who knows? Cleveland might be the team to where they finish with a above 500 record, but don't make the playoffs like Cincinnati did. I mean,
Yeah.
that division is just it's so tough, and it's just a whole lot of other factors that you got to factor in too. So, um, hard to say, but I think I'll take the over on them too, just because I'm banking on the healthy Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
They can push for 10 or 11 wins. So I can take them with that. Next up on the list we got the San Francisco 49ers, who's been in the headlines quite a bit here for a lot of different things. A
Yeah.
few nickname injuries, a couple guys that's not in training camp. Apparently, it's not a done deal yet, but there's been talks of Brandon Ayuk possibly getting traded to Pittsburgh to the Steelers. So a lot going on there, but they have their over under wins total at 11.5, so 11 and a half. 12-5 last year for San Francisco. So um, I think they've been hitting their overs on the wins here the past couple of years. So um, not impossible, but obviously, man, the how much success this team has had as far as being to multiple Super Bowls, multiple NFC championships, you
Mm-hmm.
got to think that this window might be closing on them. And if they can't get it this year,
It's gonna be tough.
when can they get it? Because here come eventually they're gonna have to end up paying Brock Purdy, and it's just the
Yeah.
truth. They're gonna eventually have to pay him. So, but I mean, that their division. I mean, it's not the toughest.
No.
So over under on that 11 and a half.
Over. I feel pretty confident about the over. Yeah, division is not great. Got some solid teams that'll give them some work, but I think they'll go over. Um, be interested to see what happens with this whole Brandon Ayuk thing and really who steps up in that true receiver role. Debo is a receiver, but he's treated more as an athlete in this offense. So maybe Ricky Pearsall can take that spot. Who knows? I personally think they should keep Brandon Ayuk now. I don't know obviously details and how much money he wants and everything, but um, if Ricky Pearsall can step into that, or whoever can step into that role, they have so many weapons on that offense, and the defense is basically back. Um, obviously, I don't know when Dre Greenlaw will be back from his injury, but I imagine that he probably will miss majority of the year. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna still take the over too. Um, because I mean, here recently, teams that have been playing in the Super Bowl, um, hadn't really just regressed that much. They still been able to hold on, or at least keep what they had intact, get back to the playoffs.
Mhm.
We've seen it here the last two, three Super Bowl runner ups. So I think the Super Bowl hangover isn't. I think it's still there, but it isn't as bad as it has been like in the past. So I don't think they'll regress that much. Now I do think that San Francisco should find a way to keep Brandon Ayuk. Um, I agree. Like you said, I'm not sure what the number is that he's looking for, but obviously he's looking at the fact that, all right, Jetson got paid, Tyreek and got him something else, and maybe he views himself as one of those guys, and which essentially I think he kind of is. I mean, I don't know if you put him like far as like top five,
Yeah,
top 10,
do
but
that.
I think he can prove to be a number one wide receiver. I mean,
Mhm.
especially there when you got the fact that he's sharing the ball with Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Debo Samuel. I mean, he can only get his fair share of whatever he can. So obviously, if you take him to uh, a team to where he can be like the bona fide number one guy, I think he has a chance. But obviously, it's a thin line of what he wants, right? Obviously, he wants to get paid, but the fact that he's been with a team that's been so successful, like San Francisco, I don't think he wants to go to a team where it's like, oh, they may have the money, but they're not in no type of contention of making the playoffs, making any type of deep runs. So he's wanting to possibly, find that just find that mix, right? So where I'm with a team that can pay me, but they're in contention to where they can make the playoffs, make some noise, can get a deep run, and I can be one of these cornerstone pieces to be on the franchise. So obviously, that's probably what he's looking for. But I would like for him to stay in San Francisco. I think it works really well. So I hope they can maybe come to terms with something.
Yeah,
But we'll see. But I think even if they were to trade him, which is kind of like a double-edged sword, because obviously, like if they trade him and they still go on to win 12 games, then it's just kind of like, I
yeah.
mean, I hate to be like, that they didn't need him because I mean, I think they still would, but it's just like, well, they did it without him. But
Hmm.
I mean, the fact that, I mean, I'm not sure how much Seattle would
Yeah,
really contest with them if they would give them much of a run. I mean, Los Angeles with the Rams,
yeah,
maybe, but I don't know. And I think Arizona's still trying to work their way back up. So I just think the fact that there's not as much competition in their division, maybe compared to others, that they can still find a way to reel off 11 wins, um and I think they'll get it. So I'll take 49ers on there over too. I'll hit that for them. All right, we'll go back over to the AFC. Let's go to the Colts, right? Indianapolis Colts had a chance to make it to the playoffs last year without their starting rookie quarterback with Anthony Richardson, but he'll be back now. Uh, over on their line for their win total is 8.5. They got 9 last year. First year head coach. Um, Now let's see what they can do here. Anthony Richardson back, hopefully for a full healthy season. In the AFC South, I mean, like I said, one game away right there with Houston, but
mhm,
there's Houston. Uh, in a way, even though I know they're very Jekyll and Hyde, you can't rule out Jacksonville to a certain extent. Um, I don't know. The AFC South is one of those weird, tricky divisions, right? Because one year it's always a year where we're thinking, well, this should be the team to do it,
yeah.
and then it ends up being a whole other team. So, what you think about the Colts over under on that 8.5?
It's tough, man. 8.5 is tough for me because they have the AFC East and the NFC North. Uh,
Yeah.
so you have Green Bay. You got to go to Green Bay. You get the Bears at home. You got to go to Minnesota, and you get Detroit at home. Then you got Buffalo coming to town. Got to go to New York, play the Jets. Um, get Miami out. You got to go to Jacksonville. Those 8. I mean, you can get the Bears, maybe the Vikings. You run into the Vikings with rookie quarterback. That's gonna be a tough one on the road. If Aaron Rodgers is playing and he's healthy, I don't see them going to New York and beating the Jets. I'm tempted to go under. I'm tempted to go under and have them right at eight, 8 wins. Um, I don't think they get the 9 again. I think they gotta. I think they'll split at worst. I think they'll split with everybody in their division. At worst, I could see them losing both to Houston. But I could see them turn around and beating Tennessee twice and split Jackson like that. So at worst, I think they split with everybody in the division. But those crossover games are tough for me. So I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the under as well, just because I think Jacksonville will rebound a little bit more
Mm,
and fight their way back into contention. Obviously, Houston is gonna be right there in the thick of it as well. Um, I don't know, and it obviously it's just all depending on if Anthony Richardson can stay healthy for this full season. I think they had having the luxury of having Gardner Minshew as the backup last season was a plus. He's not there anymore. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he's in Las Vegas now. So who is the backup? Say if Anthony Richardson goes down again,
yeah.
who can right that ship? So um, that's gonna be kind of tough. I mean, I hope that he can stay healthy and pull for a full season. If he's there for a full season, I think they have a chance to maybe take it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure, and it is some tough matchups, and I'm right there with you. I think they flip a game, and I'm gonna go under with the 8.5 um, for the Colts. Um, and then the team that we just kind of mentioned playing on their schedule,
Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings, right? Going through some changes. Uh, Obviously, Justin Jefferson, their big contract he got just over the offseason.
Hey.
Second year player, Jordan Addison there. But now no Kirk Cousins, transitioning now to where it looks like it may start off as with Sam Darnold, I guess, but eventually it could end up being JJ McCarthy
Mm-hmm.
being the starting quarterback in Minnesota. The line is set at 7.5. They finished at 7-10 last season, which was in a way the way how the season started for them was kind of a good thing that they finished off at 7-10 because it looked like it was gonna be worse than that. And then especially after when Kirk Cousins went down with that torn Achilles. So
Mm-hmm.
um, line 7.5. What you think about Minnesota on that one?
It's another tough one, man, because I got a tough job with the NFC West, and we were just talking about the division in the NFC West not being great, but I do think with the Rams and Seattle are going to be tough outs. They're always going to play. Both those squads are going to play tough. They're going to play hard. They're going to play tough. Then they have the AFC South, so you got to play Houston, got to play Jacksonville, you got to play the Colts. I imagine that JJ McCarthy is going to be starting at some point. I think he's going to end up starting in the season. I thought he was going to start in the beginning of the season. We'll see. Obviously, preseason and only time will tell. I'm gonna go under on them as well. It's just that's another one that's hard for me to. It's hard for me to get them to 8. It's hard for me to get them to 8. I think there's just and there's just more so. I said the NFC West, but the NFC North. You got to deal with Detroit and Green Bay, and I just don't. I don't know what they're going to be able to do. I don't know if I could they split because they're divisional opponents for sure. Obviously, they definitely could. But those two are tough. Those two are tough. Green Bay looks good, and obviously Detroit is coming off an NFC Championship berth. So I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go under because I think that JJ's gonna end up starting rookie quarterback playing against those defenses. I'm gonna roll with the under.
I'm gonna take the under as well for Minnesota. I think they'll be right back, maybe right at 7 again, like they kind of did this past season. Um, I think there'll be some flashes, because obviously when you have a dynamic player like Justin Jefferson, all you need to do is just try to get him the ball.
No
And the
doubt.
same thing with Jordan Addison, CJ Hawkinson. I mean, like they have the players there. It's just the uncertainty now for the first time in years for them at quarterback. I mean, they also lost some guys on the defensive end too. No Daniil Hunter is there anymore. I think he's in Houston now. So,
Yep.
um, I mean, you're replacing a lot, and I think it's gonna be some growing pains for them and everything like that. So I think it'll be kind of hard for them to do it, and it's hard to kind of see whether they stack up too, far as like even within their division, right? Because I feel like everybody, if there's either teams that's already better than them, and then Chicago, maybe it looks like on paper that they have improved some
Hmm.
a bit themselves. We'll see, but it looks like they have improved themselves on paper. So I don't know, man. We'll see. It's tough, but I think I'm gonna roll with the under two for Minnesota. Um, then next up here, finally, right here on our over under list, as far as win totals, we got the Washington Commanders. Trying to turn some things around, man, for the franchise. Winning drafted Jaden Daniels, number 2 overall. Line total sitting at 6.5. Washington was 4-13 last season. Very, very abysmal. Traded Sam Howell over to uh, Seattle. Um, I think a new head coach, right? Because Ron Rivera isn't there anymore, so new head coach. Just knew everything, starting all over again. So which seems like a constant cycle. It looks like for them, but Dan Snyder is no longer there, owning owning the team.
Yeah.
So maybe the trajectory can change here
Uh,
for them. But
mhm.
line sitting at 6.5. Uh, what do you think about that one?
I'm gonna go under. They got another tough draw. They got the AFC North and the NFC South. The
Yeah,
AFC North is a tough draw. The
yeah,
AFC North is a tough draw, man. I'm gonna go under. I think James Daniels is gonna be the starter. I think he's gonna have. Um, I think he's gonna do some good things. Definitely, I think he's gonna be a good player in this league. But growing pains. So your defense, you have to see your own division with Dallas and Philly, and then you have to play Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. I'm a roll with the under. I'm a roll. So
yeah.
that's about
Um,
the teams we pick.
I mean, 6.5. I feel like it's not too high. Um, but I just think that's gonna be hard to get. I mean, unless they can catch a couple teams off guard, like I know they got Cincinnati early in the season, so who knows how they may be looking early in the year. So maybe they can catch them off guard. Maybe who knows? Maybe they can catch Tampa week 1 off guard. You
Yeah,
just never know. Um, but I mean, I'm looking, man. I'm trying to count the dubs, yeah, and I can't hit 7. So
yeah.
I don't see how they can hit 7, man. I mean, you know, I think somehow they find a way to maybe split one with New York with the Giants, just because it's the Giants. I think they'll find a way to split one with them. Wouldn't be
mm-hmm.
surprised if they found a way to catch either Dallas or Philly off guard. like they did last season. Probably catch one of those teams off guard and split with one of them. Obviously, they got a toss up right there with Chicago. I think they can beat Arizona. Um, so that's about three or four I'm naming right there. If
Yeah.
they can probably get a couple more and get some, ruin somebody's postseason chance or something like that. But seven, I can't see it. So I'm gonna have to roll with the under on
Mm-hmm.
on on seven for Washington. I just like you said, man, tough out of all years. This year's they get
Yeah.
they get the AFC North.
That's
Who is it they get? They get the AFC North and the NFC West. So it's just
NFC
like
South. They get the South.
no NFC South. So it's just, I mean, granted, granted, I will say the past two seasons they have beaten one team down there in the NFC South, but hopefully things will change.
Bruh.
Hopefully things will change
Don't
this season
get me started.
with that. So we'll see, man. But obviously, we'll look at some more win totals here as we go through the season.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting ready to go to the season here very soon, as we getting ready with that. So interesting to see. That's what they were win totals. Uh, Now we got these player stats, and all of these are coming from FanDuel. So I'm not sure how any other sports book is looking at it, but these are the win totals and yardage totals that they're putting out there for these players and teams, man. So we're gonna look at some of these quarterbacks right here, over under for some of their yardage or yards for the season, man. So first we're gonna go with man, second year quarterback had a phenomenal rookie season.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Stroud for Houston. They had the line set for 4175.5, so a little over a little over 4100 yards, close to 4200. He went over 4100 last year, had 4108. Um, pretty solid rookie season, 23 touchdowns to just five interceptions, threw for 4108 yards. Added some more weapons. Now, as we mentioned, do you think he can hit that? Can he go over or under that 4175?
I think he'll go over. He missed one, maybe two games last year. He missed a couple games. He had to
Right, right,
miss a couple
right.
games. Tank Dell got hurt. You got Stephon Diggs there now. You got Joe Mixon there now. I like the over. He was right there. He was at 4108. So you're talking the extra what is that 60, 67 yards. I like that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'll take the over. I'll take the over on CJ with that. Stay healthy, he'll get that.
Yeah, if he's healthy, I'm going. I think he smashes it. I think he smashed over. I wouldn't be surprised if he was one of the league leaders in passing yards coming into the second season. Granted, I know now it might be a little bit more difficult to do it just because people now have a full year
Hmm.
of tape on them, and I know sometimes that makes a difference.
Yeah, true.
However, when you add in the weapons that they have now, though, I mean, adding the Stephon Diggs, adding the Joe Mixon, you know, having Tank Dell come and try to come back out this season, having I'm drawing a brain fart. What is the other receiver's name? He had a
So
hell of a year
Collins,
too. Nico Collins. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, it's just, I mean, so they got the weapons there, man. They have it there. I don't think he'll have as much as if you even want to consider it a sophomore slump.
mm,
I mean, he may have a low to where the numbers don't look as exciting, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he went like three, four straight weeks where he threw for 300 plus yards or
okay.
something like that, just because they have the weapons. So I think that might be one of, if not one of the easiest overs that that we got on here. I mean, for sure. Let's see. Next guy on the list, we're gonna go with, man, reigning Super Bowl champion, two-time defending Super Bowl champion, looking to three-peat, Mr. Patrick Mahomes. His line is set for 4,225 and a half. Over under on that.
Over, over. Last year he threw for 4,100. He was right. He was 17 yards off of being 42. There's only been two times in his career where he hasn't thrown for 42 yards, and you had Xavier Worthy to that as well. Marquise Brown to that as well. You're gonna have some more yak. You have some more guys that can get some yards at the catch. I'm gonna go over for Mr. Mahomes. Easy.
Easy, easy. And I, like you said, you mentioned it, Yak. I think this is where it's going to really come from.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you think about those times where, like you said, the only two times I think were really the only one time where he's never thrown even over 4,000 was pretty much just his rookie season because obviously he didn't play. But every year than that, he's gone over 4,000
Yeah.
easily. I think there's only one time where he didn't even go over 4,100. So, and then it's been twice where he's led the league in passing
Mm-hmm.
with five, well, a couple times with 5,000 yards. So obviously, he's done it a plethora of ways. And I think obviously the beginning part of his career, it was deep down the field, deep shots
Mm-hmm.
with Tyreek Hill, and obviously you getting Kelsey over the middle and everything like that. So but here, the last, I think now he's noticed these last couple of years is I don't have to get the big play every time.
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of dump it off to a receiver here for a 10 yard out, and he can possibly go 60. And like you said, the fact now that we adding in Xavier Worthy to the mix,
I like
I mean,
I like the chances.
come on, and like you said, a lot of it probably for sure is gonna be Yak. So he may not have to really throw the ball 35, 40 times unless they just decide to do it.
Yeah.
He could really throw it maybe 30, 28 to 32 times and still might hit over 300 just because he's gonna get his shots over. Obviously with Kelsey in the middle, and
Mm-hmm.
now adding in Worthy, adding in the rest of those guys. I mean, dump it out to Pacheco. I mean, it's the weapons of there is just is crazy, and the fact that obviously Coach Reed is gonna set it up to where they put the guys in the best position possible
Mm-hmm.
to get them there. That's easy smash that he gets. The only way he doesn't is he miss a few games. That's
Yeah.
legit. If he's not if he's not out there playing, or they decide to rest him because they already got the division locked up, or
Mm.
they're locked into a certain seed in the playoffs. Other than that, man, he's smashing the 42, bro, man, easily, easily. All right, next up we got a couple of rookies up here for their totals here. They're over unders. Kind of interesting to see. Obviously, we're going with the first two draft picks here. So we got Caleb Williams here set right at 3,500. Well, he got the point five, but they're saying over under on 3,500. It looks like it can be the makings for it. Like, what do you think on that?
Over. Too many weapons. Too many weapons between Duzier, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet. Got a lot going on up there in Chicago. You got a lot of guys that can catch the football and go. So I'm gonna go with the over. I think this is one of the easier ones as well. 38, right? 38.
35.
Oh, 35. Yeah, give me.
Yeah, 35. Yeah,
I like the over. I like
yeah.
that as
I,
well. Give me Caleb for at least 37.
yeah. I think they could have raised it a little bit higher, but obviously I want to think they want to give it the benefit of the doubt just because you just never know with the rookie season. You just never know. But you obviously the fact that you know that he's going to be a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago is trying to shore up their offensive line. I mean, you named all the weapons. So if he doesn't go for 3,500, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a problem if he don't go over 3,500. So I think easily Caleb for sure go. He might go for four. He might go for four because it could be. I'm just saying it could be some games to where they're in some shootouts, or
Okay.
he could be. It could be. I know people don't like it, but it could be some empty stat games to where maybe the game is a little out of reach, but they're going down the field and
Yeah, I hear that.
he's just getting what he can, and it is what it is. I know some people feel some way about the whole empty stat thing, but listen, man, numbers is numbers. I can't. I feel like you. They don't need to try to argue that of when or how it's happening. It's
Mm,
just it's there. So
going on.
I wouldn't be surprised if he found a way to get four. But for sure, I think he's going over 35 for sure. I take you. I say at least 36, 36.50 that he should definitely get
Yeah.
and have that with ease. It's just the weapons that he has there. It's just it'd be inexcusable if he didn't get 3,500 for
Yeah.
sure. It'd be
Yeah.
inexcusable. The next rookie we got Jaden Daniels. So his line they got it at just a little over 3,000. So 3,025 yards. Obviously, they're probably looking at the fact that he could be doing a lot of design runs or something like that. So, is it over under on Jaden Daniels?
Over. Sam Howell threw for 39. That's my reasoning. I think Teddy Daniels is better, so I'm gonna go over. He threw for, like I said, Sam Howell threw for 3,900. He also threw for 21 picks. So threw the ball a lot to the opposite team. So if Jane Daniels doesn't do that, I think he'll be fine. So give me uh give me the over for Jaden Daniels.
I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go under. Like, but it's gonna be close.
Okay, look, why why
Just,
why under?
just be-
Why under?
I say under just because I think he may pull the ball down a little bit more and run it
Okay,
just a bit. He shouldn't probably do it just because of the weight issue. He shouldn't really do it.
yeah,
But I think those first few games, he probably will just have a natural instinct to just kind of just be like, okay, first read ain't there. I'm pulling it and I'm going.
mm-hmm,
And I think after a while, he'll realize not to do it,
mm-hmm.
and then he'll get better and he'll come close. But I'm gonna say under, even though that is a very low number.
Oh,
That is a very low number. But there, it might be a game where he might not even throw for 200 yards. He might run for 100 himself. I don't. Who knows?
no,
But interesting to see. But if he does go over, I wouldn't be surprised just because I think also kind of like with Chicago, I won't say that he'll be in a lot of shootouts, but Washington may be behind a few times, so he's gonna have to maybe throw it. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I can see the over being happening, but I think he's gonna pull it down and tuck it and run a little bit more to maybe where he doesn't go over. So
yeah,
I'm gonna take the under, but it's gonna be close. I'm gonna take the under though, but it's gonna be close.
okay, okay,
All right. So then the last guy we got here, we got our guy, man. We got Kirk Cousins. The line is set at 3,800.
yeah.
Um, Obviously only threw for 2,300 last season in just the 8 games being played. Uh, but are we in agreement here? I think I'm going over just because
I'm gonna let you. Yeah,
he's only been under 3,800 once. As like as a full time starter, or at least and that was 2019. So he can definitely get and this is probably outside of him having maybe Stephon. Well, was he there for Stephon Diggs? I don't even know if he was there for that. Was he?
who
Was Kirk Cousins? Well, yeah.
he got
Stephon
hurt?
Diggs was there.
He got hurt the year they made that run. Or no. That was right. Case Keenum was that quarterback
Was that right?
run
Yeah.
right after that.
So he wasn't there yet. So he never really got Diggs. So
He
he
played a little,
right a little bit maybe.
maybe a year or two. It wasn't long.
Okay. So yeah. So give or take. I mean Diggs, obviously Justin Jefferson. And then but this is gonna be like his best overall weaponry together of weapons that he has had.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts,
Wow.
Drake London, adding in Ray McLeod, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier in the backfield. So the one of the best offensive lines in the offensive in the league. So obviously I think they're looking at the fact that will he stay healthy with dealing with that Achilles, but
Mhm.
I can't see him not going up with 3,800, man. I
This
mean,
I don't know what I do if he didn't throw for 38. I don't know what I do. I can't. I once again, no shot. Not no disrespect. No disrespect. I that because What did Shaq say? Anytime someone says no disrespect, what comes right after it? Disrespect.
Disrespect.
Desmond Ritter threw for 29. You telling me Kirk can't throw for another 1,000? Come on.
Facts.
So
Facts.
so yeah, I'm going over, man. I'm going over.
Yeah. I think that's a smash, man. It's I feel like not too many quarterbacks now can't go for 4,000 the way it's set up now, especially if they're a very competent one, they can definitely go for four. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, the 3,800, I think that's with ease. That's with ease. Now I may feel like maybe even the first couple of games, first 2 or 3 games, it might look a little sluggish, but I think they'll find a groove. And I mean, Kirk Cousins, man, win, lose, or draw. If he's out there, he's gonna try to sling it
Yeah.
as much as he can for sure. So, um, I think 3,800. That's nothing. That's nothing. I'm for sure hammering, hammering the over, hammering the over on that one for sure, man. But I can't wait. We'll see what happens here for the season, man. Obviously, there'll be a few more of these uh, totals in line that we'll look at. We'll definitely look at some of the running backs, some of the wide receivers, see what they're looking at, everything like that. Maybe even get a couple of defensive guys in there and see what they hitting on for sure. You know what I'm saying? Got to see what they hitting on too, man, for sure. So can't wait to see what that happens. Obviously, it could be somebody that may surprise us, somebody that may disappoint us. Uh, we never know, man. That's the thing. We can't wait for the season to get started, man. Speaking of another season, we can't wait to get started. Obviously, man, the college football season. Um, I just call it the year of the new. You know what I'm saying? New everything, right? New conferences, new realignments,
Yeah.
new playoff system,
Ooh.
just a whole bunch of newness, man.
Yeah, man.
It's as we like to say, we kind of look at ourselves as I guess we're still stuck in the old traditional ways of college football.
Yeah.
But this is gonna take some getting used to,
Mm.
and it's okay. And I'm pretty sure the ones who are 20, 30 years older than us probably felt that way about the stuff that we're used to, and probably saying, "Nah, it should have been like this back then." So it is what it is, man. But they came out with the preseason polls here. Um, they came out with the preseason polls now, and it's there. So obviously, if you look at it here, Georgia coming in preseason number one.
Yeah.
And then you got Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, defending national champions here, Michigan, Penn State, and Florida State, rounding out the top 10. Then some notable teams between 11 and 20. You got Utah there at 13, Tennessee at 15, Kansas State 17, Miami at 19. And then to round out that top 25, we got Arizona, North Carolina State, USC, Kansas, and of course Iowa. And then there's a few teams on the outside looking in that's getting they got a lot of love. Washington, Louisville, Virginia Tech, SMU, Memphis, Boise State. So all three. Well, I'm sorry, SMU is in the ACC now, but
Get it.
Memphis, Boise State. See, I almost said those three teams were going to be the top group of five teams, but I'm sorry, SMU's in the ACC now. Let me put some respect on their name.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Get that together. But obviously, Memphis and Boise State sitting up there being one of the top teams in the group of five range there. So when you look at it though, man, what team do you feel like is overrated, and what team do you think is a little underrated when it goes into whether they're in that top 25 or just on the outside looking
To me, Kansas is a little low. Kansas is a little low for me at 24.
in?
Bringing back Jaden Daniels, bringing back your trio of receivers. Kobe Bryant is, if not the best, he's one of the best cornerbacks in college football. I think Kansas is low. I think Kansas is low on this list. To have them at 24 to me, I think they should be a little higher. I definitely think there's some teams that were ranked based upon name and tradition and things like that. So I definitely think that Kansas should have been higher. A team that I feel is probably getting a little too much. Oh well, there they are. I don't Texas A&M for me. I just I never I don't know, man. I
Well, I mean, Jimbo isn't there anymore, so
Okay, and
I
that
don't know.
and that whole 2022 class ain't there neither. Like what? Like so,
Touche.
yeah. So like Mike Elko coming in, looks that new coach and everything. He's been there. He was at Texas A&M before. He left to go to Duke and things. But what have they done to be the in the top 20? What have they done in previous years to be heralded as a top 20 team? Like I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. I don't. I don't think anybody's ever going to be able to explain to me why they always get the benefit of the doubt. I just. I don't know. I think Texas A&M, in my opinion, is one of those teams gets gets that. So they were 7-6 last year. So 7-6, new head coach. You lose the best team, Evan Stewart. He transfers to Oregon. You lose, a couple other guys in the portal. Even before Evan Stewart jumped in, you went 7-6, and now you're a top 20 football team because
I mean, did they have another? Did they have a decent recruiting
they,
class? I
they,
guess that's the only thing I can
I
think of.
mean, they probably
Only thing I
did,
can think
but they've been having solid recruiting classes for the past 4 or 5.
for years.
So
I mean, even in the Kevin Sumlin era, they had
no doubt,
pretty good recruiting classes,
yeah.
and they never panned out even then. So
So to me, Texas A&M is one of those schools, man, where it's just like I don't get it. I don't get it. So, um, to be honest, I was surprised that they were even ranked. Because I think a team like Memphis is ranked, in my opinion. I don't know about Washington, but I think a team like Memphis should definitely be ranked. Um,
maybe even Louisville.
maybe yeah, even Louisville. Like they were in the
Yeah,
championship, they got a lot of pieces coming back. So even Louisville. So, but that's just my 2 cents. I don't know. People say hating, but I don't think Texas A&M should be ranked. So
understood that. Understood that. I know for me, my team that I'm looking at is a little bit underrated. I'm going with Arizona. Um,
that
a 10-win team, a 10-win team coming off last season after winning just one game 2 seasons ago, going back and winning 10 games. Um, moving over now to the Big 12, which is not there's not a lot necessarily. There's some favorites, but it's not like a lot of like a team that could win the Big 12. So I mean, obviously they could sneak up on somebody. They're a sleeper. Um, I mean, man, Noah Fafita and McMillan, they're a deadly combination. Deadly combination. Man, the offense is loaded. I mean, obviously the defense still kind of needs a little bit more work, but uh, I just think they're in the notion of hey, we're gonna try to outscore you. I mean, if you can't stop them offensively, I mean, what can you do? They averaged over 34 points a game last season,
yeah.
so obviously they know how to put points up on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And they still got their top quarterback to wide receiver tandem. So uh, I like Arizona. I think they're a little bit underrated. I don't think they're getting enough talk uh, in the Big 12 just yet. I think they're a sleeper team in that conference. Um, my overrated team, which I'm not necessarily trying to say that they're overrated. It's just their history of when they get this type of hype doesn't doesn't bode well for them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Ole Miss. I'm going with
Yeah,
Ole Miss.
yeah,
Um, I mean, they got them sit up there with top 10. Dang, yeah, top 10 sitting up there number 6 in the preseason poll. And I get it. You know, Jackson Dart is there, returning a bunch of starters. You know, that Lane Kiffin has always gonna have that offense rolling, man. But bro, when you lose Christian Judkins, bro, I'm just
that's tough.
that's hard to replace. I get it. They got some other guys back there in the backfield, but that is hard
Yeah,
to replace. And I just remember those Hugh Freeze teams, man. Like once he started getting them there and on the up and up, and they'd be like, "Oh, this is the year that we think Ole Miss can compete and challenge for a SEC championship," and they did not live up to those expectations. So I'm not saying that Ole Miss can't do it because I think they can. It's just more so of the history of when they've gotten this type of preseason hype,
mm-hmm.
they never live up to it.
You're
So
right.
kind of,
You're right.
and it's almost in the same boat as Texas A&M. They're getting the recruits, they're getting the guys. And granted, they're having a successful season, one more successful season here in the last couple of years in A&M.
Yeah,
But sitting up there in the top 10, right up there at six, that's pretty much saying, well, now since it's a 12-team playoff, that's pretty much saying that that's a playoff team.
yeah,
You gotta you gotta be able to live up to that hype, man.
yeah,
You gotta be able to live up to that hype. You really have to. So
yeah.
I'm just hoping that they can, because in the past when they've had those type of teams where they're supposed to be up there and one of the best in the country, not just in the conference, in the country, they kind of fall to the wayside a little bit and not be as good as everybody thought they would. And obviously, of course, that all just going to depends on injury and health and
Yeah.
all that stuff like that with any team. So that's that. So interesting to see with that. But like I said, I don't want to. I'm not saying that they're overrated. It's just,
Yeah, they were one of those.
can they, can they keep up with the hype? There's a lot of hype surrounded
Oh,
Ole Miss for a team that consistently doesn't get that hype. You know,
yeah,
is so we'll see. But that's what I think on that, and we'll see. Hopefully, these teams either will prove us right or maybe even prove us wrong. We'll
yeah.
see. But uh, can't wait for that to come about. Like you said, as we know, man, 12-team playoff now, so uh, a lot at stake, but a lot of opportunity as well for a plethora of teams. So now you don't even have to really necessarily win your conference
Nope.
just to get in. So interesting to see. But teams who do win their conference do get that automatic qualifier, and I believe they get the first four spots regardless of their record. If
I
I'm not
think
mistaken,
so. So.
they get the first four and they get the bye. So um, that's something to play for. That's really something to play for, to get that time off for sure and everything like that. So, man, we're gonna go right into it. We're gonna go and look into these major four conferences, and we're gonna pick our conference winners, for the season, man. So
Woo.
we're gonna kick it off. We're gonna kick it off over down into the ACC.
All right.
Florida State were the winners last season.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think there hasn't been a repeat champ. Well, I take that back. It hasn't been that long. I know Clemson were repeating here the last few years, but this was Florida State first year winning since the 2014 season, or 2013-2014 season. The
Yeah.
Jameis Winston era right there was still there. So interesting to see there. And then obviously there's Clemson, Miami, North Carolina State, Louisville, Virginia Tech. All those teams are kind of right in the mix. Who do you have coming out on top winning the ACC this year?
This one is tough, man. This one is tough. I'm gonna go with Florida State. I'm gonna take Florida State to win it again. I don't know about Clemson. I just don't know if I trust the quarterback, Klubnik. I don't know if I trust him. Again, Ulangalele for Florida State, I think it's big. Someone that's familiar with the conference, who's won in that conference before. Um, I think it's big for Florida State to be able to come in and be the predecessor to Jordan Travis. Florida State's always gonna have some athletes. I think NC State is going to be the team for me that's going to be right there with them, though. I don't know how I feel about Miami. Miami is one of those teams where it's kind of, oh, Miami's back, Miami's back, and then they pull what they did against Georgia Tech last year, and so it's like you find a way
Yeah, yeah.
into your own way. So I'm gonna go Florida State. I'm gonna go Florida State. I think they go back to back. They get Clemson that year. Um, they get Clemson at home this year. Now they have a tough schedule. I mean, Memphis comes to town. Memphis is gonna be a tough game to open up with Georgia Tech. Week 0 in Ireland. That's not gonna be easy. Um, you got to go to Miami. North Carolina comes to town. You got to go to Notre Dame. Like they have some tough games. But I think that Boston College always plays them tough, which why that is the case, I don't know. But I'm gonna roll with Florida State. I think the Seminoles go back to back.
Yeah, I'm going Florida State too. I think they repeat this season.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Granted, I know they kind of lost a lot as far as like guys leaving out or hitting the portal, going to the draft and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that. But they also brought a lot in from the portal. They kind of pretty much reloaded. I mean, like you said, they got in DJ Ungalala in, got Marvin Jones Jr. in from Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
got Rodell Williams in from Alabama, the running back, Malik Benson, another wide receiver out there from Alabama. So they got a good plethora of guys who obviously, that either has had some playing time or just didn't get enough there, but been out on the field, been on those special teams, know how to pretty much bring in that work ethic and get everything going, man. It's just funny, right? Man, I swear, like 2, 3 seasons ago, they were calling for Mike Norvell's head.
Yeah.
Especially after they had that crazy loss to Jacksonville State
Mm-hmm.
and everything like that. It just seemed like you didn't know if Florida State was gonna get back, and now they kind of made their way back here. And I just think I like them just a little bit more than Clemson. Way
Yeah.
I like them more than Miami. Um, my sleeper team for the ACC, I think, is going to be Virginia Tech. They're bringing back a lot of guys. They're kind of back on the trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Man, the quarterback Hiram Drones, man, is a dude is he he's one of the ones for sure. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with them. But in the end, I'm picking Florida State. I think they find a way to repeat and they go back. And this time they'll get into
Good play.
the college football
No
playoffs.
doubt.
So, we'll go with that. Man, over in the Big 12, a whole lot of newness there too. There's no Oklahoma, no Texas, which has basically been the two teams for the most part that dominated that conference. I mean, every now and again you got a Baylor or TCU to kind of
Mm-hmm.
come out of nowhere. Kansas State, here and there and stuff like that. But those been the two teams that pretty much dominate the Big 12. But now they're gone, and then you add in pretty much those teams from out west. Colorado is back in, Utah's in now, Arizona State
Mm-hmm.
is there. So got the Big 12 and everything like that. Who you got winning that conference?
I think Utah's the favorite. I think Utah's a favorite right now, and that's tough because Utah's gonna be they're gonna be tough to beat. But I'm gonna go Kansas. I'm gonna pick.
Mm.
I'm gonna go against the grain here. I'm gonna pick Kansas to get it. I think Kansas figures it out. I think they figure out a way um, to win it, man. Now, obviously, they still have a tough game with. Can You still got to play Kansas State? You got to go to Kansas State. But outside of that, they don't play Utah. They don't play Arizona. They don't play Arizona State. Um, they don't play Oklahoma State. So a lot of those top teams that you think are going to be in the mix, they avoid them. You don't have to play them, at least in the regular season. So I think Kansas can figure out a way to get to that Big 12 championship and I'm gonna go with the Jayhawks. I'm say the Jayhawks to win it. Surprise! I'm a surprise pick.
Yeah, I can see Kansas. I can even see Kansas State, but I'm going Utah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the favorites. I'm gonna take Utah. I mean, obviously now getting back Cam Rising back for hopefully a full healthy 2024 season. Also getting back Brent Kuthi, the tight end, and you know what Utah does with their tight ends, man. They gonna get them involved in that offense. And then they hit the portal as well, getting in Dorian Singer from USC, bringing him in. So
Yeah.
I just think they they got a good chance, man. And then obviously the fact that if you look at their schedule too, right, for Utah, they don't play any of the other top favorites either, man. They don't play Kansas State or Kansas. So you're talking about a chance for them to pretty much see, no super major competition until, if they get through until the Big 12 championship. And I mean, maybe their toughest road game would be at Oklahoma State, like in the middle of September. That's a tough one. Um, but I mean, other than that, I mean, I can't see them really losing to anybody else, man. I mean, goodness, they don't leave the state of Utah until they play Oklahoma State the first three games. I mean, Southern Utah at home, they got Baylor at home. They're playing Utah State, so they don't even leave the state of Utah until they play Oklahoma State their fourth game of the season on the 21st. So, I think a favorable schedule and the fact that if they can keep Cam Rising healthy,
Mm,
obviously the defense is going to be solid.
yeah.
Man, Kyle Whittingham is, I feel like he doesn't get talked enough
No.
as one of the better coaches in college football.
Mm.
Just,
All he does is
yeah, I
just
just,
wins. He's just been winning at Utah. No one talks about him. He just keeps winning.
that's it. That's it. So I think they come in and um, I think they'll end up facing one of those Kansas teams. They'll either be Kansas or Kansas State, probably for the Big 12 championship. But I think they'll come in and take over and uh, get to the playoff. And I think they'll win the Big 12 for sure. But man, next up though, we got the heavy hitters, man. We'll go over to the Big Ten first. Let's go into the Big Ten. Obviously, some more newness with that as well. Taking in some more of those other West Coast teams,
Mm-hmm.
which I forgot to mention the ACC also got newness as well. They got some teams over from out west as well too. I think they added Stanford and Cal, and then from
Mm-hmm.
Tech they got SMU. Is there one more team I'm missing?
Yeah.
See, man, this conference realignment stuff got me out.
It's definitely Cal Stanford.
Cal, Stanford, SMU is there now too, I believe.
Yeah.
Um,
That's it. So Cal Stanford. That's it.
that's it. Okay. Um, but the Big Ten now they've added those teams out west, and I mean they got the heavy hitters: USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington. So they got the heavy hitters added on to already a plethora of good teams in the conference. I mean, obviously Ohio State, Penn State. You can never rule out Iowa. I mean, as long as you just score 21, maybe you got them. But if you can't score 21, it's gonna be tough. Um, the defending national champions, Michigan. So, whew, a lot of good teams there that has a chance to for real make some noise, man. But in the end, who do you got winning the Big Ten this year?
I'm going Oregon. I'm going.
I like that.
I'm going Oregon. I know Ohio State is the favorite, and it's gonna make a lot of my guys that I coached in Ohio and coached with that are from Ohio upset. I'm going with Oregon, and the reason I'm going with Oregon is because I believe I believe the date is October 12th. October 12th, when the Ohio State Buckeyes travel out to Autzen Stadium, I think Oregon does
Mm,
the dub. So I'm gonna roll with Oregon, man. I think Oregon is going to find a way to win the Big Ten. I think Ohio State is going to be good, and I think they're going to make the playoffs. But I'm gonna go with Oregon to win the Big Ten in their first year. I'm gonna take the Ducks. I'm gonna take the Ducks. They're it's it's crazy what I was about to say. I'm about to say their Big Ten schedule was like the traditional teams they have to play in the Big Ten. Um, Michigan State, Ohio State, Purdue, Illinois, Michigan, Maryland, and Wisconsin. Those
mm,
those are the teams. So obviously, having to play Michigan, you got to go to Michigan. That'll be tough. You get Michigan State coming to Austin. Purdue, Illinois, not really worried about those two games. You got to go to Wisconsin. That'd be a tough environment to play in November, but I'm gonna roll with I'm gonna roll with Oregon, man. I like Oregon to get the dub and win the Big Ten.
I think, bro, that's a very good pick. I agree with you. I think that Oregon beats Ohio State that day that they meet,
Mm-hmm.
but I still think Ohio State takes the Big Ten overall. I mean, losing what they lost, but also at the same time, kind of like Florida State, right? Lost a bit, but they rebuild right back with the portal. I
Yeah,
mean,
you're right.
got Will Howard in from Kansas State.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like the mentioned already, Quinshon Judkins got him in. Him and Travion Henderson in the backfield is gonna be
Ridiculous.
that's that's gonna be crazy. Obviously, Caleb Downs on the defensive side of the ball, added him in from Alabama. Um, I mean, and quiet as kept, man. Ohio State slick turning into wide receiver U. I know LSU might have something to say about that overall, but here lately, it's been Ohio State, and the fact that Emeka Ibuka is still there. They got a young freshman in Jeremiah Smith,
Yeah,
who they say is
everything is
gonna be
them dudes. Yeah,
area, and everything that they said about him is right on par. So it's just, I mean, and then on top of that, it's just now this is the one knock I'm gonna give them, and this is why I think in the end that they'll win the Big Ten. It's just because that schedule is weak sauce.
yeah,
It's weak sauce, bro.
really.
Ohio start off the year with Akron,
Mm-hmm.
Western Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
Marshall. On the road to Michigan State, you got Iowa at home. Then they get that road game with Oregon, Nebraska. On the road at Penn State, that's tricky
Mm-hmm.
because who knows that could be a whiteout. That could be, Beaver Stadium could be going crazy. That could be one of those games. Purdue, Northwestern Indiana, and of course they finish with
Yeah. Yeah.
Michigan, but it's at home. So, like legit, there's only three games where you're kind of like, there's a chance that they could lose, but everything else is kind of like almost penciling in, right? So now you're talking about, well, if they get two out of those three, that's 10 automatically.
Yeah.
Um, and then I don't even think, and I don't even think fans even care. They care, but I don't think they care about what happens probably their Oregon game just because of like the fact of the field being extended out. But November 30th, I think that's if they don't win anything else, that's the one they want. Because now we're talking about that's what 3 years in a row, wouldn't it be? Or did Michigan get them in 21? I know they got them 22, 23. Did they get them in 21?
They might have got him in 21 too.
So now you talking
It's
that's
three.
four. You talking about a group of seniors at that point that can go out and say, "I never beat that team up, and I never beat that team up north."
Hold on. Let me.
So,
I think it's. I think it's
so
2 years in a row.
you know what? That's true. It is. CJ never beat him.
Mm-mm.
So it's got, yeah. CJ never beat him. So you talking about 3 years already. If they don't get that one, you talking about four? You talking about a group of seniors who can never say that I was never one of the ones to say I beat that team up north.
Well, you talk
They
that Ryan Day.
they gotta have it.
Ryan Day don't have a job if he don't
Yeah,
beat him
yeah.
here.
They gotta so they kind of gotta have it, man. They gotta have it. It's for them. It's dang near championship or bust. So the pressure is on, and
Yeah, yeah. It's been 3 years in a row
hopefully
since
that
21. Since 21.
yeah
My thing with House, I just thought
yeah
about the quarterback. The quarterback is a question for me that I have. I get Judkins and Henderson and Ibuka and Smith downs when they got downs in at safety. They brought those DNs back. Those two dudes
yeah.
been in college for 7 years.
But see, my thing to combat that is I believe just because the schedule is so weak, and I know I know our resident Ohio State fan gonna say something about it when here, but the schedule is so weak that I think that by the time, like I said, that's why I think they'll lose the Oregon game
Mm-hmm.
because they'll be like the first real test for whoever the starter is, which I think is probably gonna be Will Howard. Um, but I just think that after that they'll be in such a groove and a rhythm that they'll be okay. And it might be they might have an instance to where maybe the defense gets them a couple of games here and there or
Yeah,
so,
it definitely.
and then they can pluck it through. So I just I think that to combat that, that's what they'll go with, just because it's not like they're not, you know what I'm saying, they're not playing the non-conference. The non-conference is terrible.
It's
It's terrible.
what's new.
It's 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 terrible. You know. And now, like I said, granted, the good thing is some of these conference games they're out of their three conference tough conference games, two of them are on the road, so that's gonna be
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting to see. But I think Ohio State has just enough to. I don't think they'll go undefeated, but I think they'll do just enough to win the Big Ten and get into the playoff,
okay.
and they should anyway. So that's that. And then now finally, we go over to man, to the SEC. Once again, more newness, adding in two more teams, two powerhouse teams, as far as history wise, Oklahoma and Texas. Now adding to the SEC conference, so now we're up to 16 teams there as well. Man, you got Texas. We talked about Ole Miss. You got Georgia. Quiet is kept. I know Saban isn't there, but Alabama with the roster they got there is still Alabama. Man, who you got winning the SEC? It's that tough.
Georgia,
Yeah.
Georgia has a tough schedule. Everybody has a tough schedule, but Georgia has to go on the road to Texas, on the road to Ole Miss, and on the road to Alabama. That is that is tough. Those three road games: Alabama, Texas, and Ole Miss. Um, Obviously, you mentioned it, man. You can't count out Alabama and all this. You can't count out Alabama. There's no way you can do that. Especially the way that um, you're bringing back Jalen Milroe, and it seems like he's been improving as a passer um, throughout the spring and throughout camp. Just from what I've seen and what I've heard, it seems like he's been improving. Texas is loaded. I just can't pick Texas to win it in their first year in the SEC. It's hard for me as I think I'm being a little bit of a homer when it comes to that. A new program entering and winning it. Um, as much as it pains me to say, I'm gonna pick Georgia. I'm gonna pick Georgia to win it. I think that they go on the road and they beat Alabama. I think they go on the road. They beat Texas. Excuse me. I think they'll beat Ole Miss. Um, I don't want to dismiss Ole Miss, but I think they'll get Ole Miss. Uh, I'm I think the Bulldogs get back on track and they win it this year. It's gonna be tough if they those 3 games on the road. You go on the road, you can beat Alabama, you can beat Texas, you can beat Ole Miss on the road. There's gonna be a lot of teams that have a legit shot, but if they can do that, that's gonna be I don't know how you pick anybody else. I don't know how you pick anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going
Yeah, I
for
know who
this.
you picking, man.
So.
That's what
Yeah, I mean, but I will say, I mean, the only thing that's kind of bothering me about it right now is there has been a lot of off the field distractions and situations and stuff. Ra Thomas had to be dismissed, who was going to be one of the key intricate to the offense, as far as one is at the receiver position. But I mean, Travis Etienne, um, I mean Trevor Etienne. I'm sorry, I'm giving him the wrong name. Trevor Etienne, coming in, transferring from Florida. Kobe Young coming in from Miami. You still got Carson Beck, Keys. I mean, I don't know why, but I guess I get it. It's just draft wise, projected to be one of the top quarterbacks in this upcoming draft.
yeah,
I'm with you. Like I'm with you on that. I guess, but
yeah,
I get it. I mean, defensively, man, Stokes still back there. Mikael Williams on the defensive line. Now, another big question for the defense too is, can they get back on track on stopping the run? Because last year they were not that good
yeah,
at stopping the run compared to the past couple of seasons with their defense. I think they gave up a little over like 112, 113 yards last season. I think the last couple of years they probably didn't even do that combined.
yeah, yeah. They was
um,
stopping the
giving up the run. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting. So, like you said, man, they got some. Last year, what helped them favor is a lot of their tough matchups they had at home. This year, they're all on the road, right? Alabama on the road, Texas on the road, Ole Miss on the road.
hmm
I mean, heck, I know technically it's a de facto. I know it's a neutral site, but it's a de facto home game. But you can't even rule out their first game of the year against Clemson. Down there, that's gonna be in Atlanta. You just never know what's gonna happen. Um, who knows how that may go? So I mean, I will say this though, right? You can't fault them being Georgia to figure. The conference in itself is gonna be some tough opponents, but starting off with Clemson, at least you got somebody there that can give you a real test there. That first game as a
Yeah.
non-conference
See what?
opponent. Unlike some teams. So, um, I mean, you got to think, right? They were literally Georgia, or what? Maybe we're talking about 2 or 3 plays away from getting a chance to try to at least try to earn that three-peat
Yeah,
last season. So I think there's a lot of unfinished business. Probably it feels like for a lot of guys. So I think they want to make sure that they got their head on straight and don't want to even leave it a chance to where they try to leave it up into the committee's hands on whether they can get in or not, like last season.
yeah, yeah,
Like I said, granted, obviously now with extending it to 12, the leash is a little longer,
yeah. Hmm.
so you got a chance to spill. But um, I don't like once again with Ohio State. I don't know if it'll be an undefeated season.
Yeah,
That's tough.
I don't know. I
That's tough
don't
to
think
do.
anybody in the SEC is gonna go undefeated, man. I'd be
That's gonna be tough. Yeah,
shocked.
that's gonna be tough. I don't see it. I don't see how it can be done. But if anybody can do it, maybe it could be Georgia. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know, man. We'll see. So we both went Florida State in the ACC.
Yep,
You went Kansas,
yep,
Big 12. I went Utah.
hmm
You went Oregon in the Big 10, and I went Ohio State.
yep,
And we both went Georgia
yeah.
in the SEC. I like that. I like that. I think we'll be set. We didn't agree on everything. We good.
Yeah,
We good. We good. Sunday we good then.
big
We
show would
good
be
for sure. For sure.
test the waters a little
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
do a little something different. So that yeah,
Yeah.
AC man, I mean Texas be right there. I just and then I cannot count on Alabama. I don't know what it is. Just like it's just like in the first.
I was literally having a discussion with a guy just outside, just randomly. I think he had an Alabama shirt on.
Mm-hmm,
And just kind of talking about it and everything. And I was just like, yeah, Saban may not be there as the coach, but I'm like, they still got some dudes there, bro.
yeah,
Like,
like they're not just
you know what I'm saying? And it is not going to be like I just can't see it in 1 year just for it to go from here and just plummet
yeah,
so fast. I just can't see it.
yeah.
I just can't see it.
That's,
So I don't. I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, they may only get like 7, 8 wins. Nah, I still think Bama gets 10 off rip,
yeah,
maybe even 11. I just can't see. I can't see them just going just nose diving down
yeah.
like that in 1 year. Bro. I just can't see it. So I'm with you, bro. Bama is still Bama. You can't.
Can't do
You
it.
just can't,
As soon
man.
as you
You
count
just
them
can't
out,
rule it out.
as soon as you count them out, that's the year they go and win it. It all.
Come on,
It's
every time, every time.
like I don't know about Alabama and undefeated win that championship.
Yep, yep. Win that championship. Okay. Told, told you so. Told you so.
Yeah,
It's like, ah,
yeah, yeah, man. It's okay. I know you got a house divided over there, so it's
hey, hey, man. Hey.
yeah, it's all good.
I just, I, I just hope I can sleep in the bed September 28th
Yeah,
once
yeah,
that's done.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it. That's it.
man. Best we get ready to wrap up another episode, man. Anything you want to say out here to the people, my boy?
No, man. We said at the beginning of the episode, man. Prayers to everybody affected with the hurricanes down here, man. Hopefully, I know there's been a lot of flooding and stuff, so hopefully all that stuff gets taken care of here soon. Continue to stay safe. Continue to stay safe. Stay healthy. Went to the last quarter of the year, so I've been saying it all year. You still have time to achieve whatever goals you had at the beginning of the year. You still have time to achieve those goals. Don't give up on them. Um, we do appreciate the podcast. We need to take a little hiatus, need to take a little break and everything, which is good. But football is back, it is here, and so we're back. So we're back.
For sure.
So just continue to support the podcast, man. We appreciate all the love. And until next time, man.
Yeah, same for me. Obviously, prayers and thoughts to everybody that's going on dealing with the hurricane. Everybody that's trying to, get everything back together. Um, Definitely stay safe out here. Protect yourselves, man. We still in the thick of summer, so y'all stay hydrated, man. Drink y'all water. Take care for real. Take care of yourselves out here, man. For the young kids, they head back to school, man. We hope y'all have a great successful school year, man. As y'all get ready here for another school year. Hopefully, we wish nothing but the best for that. Man, continue to for the ones that ain't back in school yet. Continue to enjoy your summer
Mm-hmm.
and everything like that. For sure, check in on your loved ones, talk to them, let them know how much you love them, appreciate them, and everything like that. Man, we appreciate you all that support the podcast. This couldn't continue on without you all support. Uh, Appreciate some of the topics and feedbacks that we get. Suggestions that you all sometimes bring in that I see or even in person that some people may tell me about and everything like that. I we try to put them all in there as best as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually the over under thing as far as like wins total and yardage came from a suggestion for somebody who tunes into the podcast and everything
Yeah,
like that. And they said we should probably try to find a way to make it like a weekly thing even throughout the season. So we'll see if we can put it in there or not. Every now and again we might throw a couple of them in there and
yeah,
everything like that. So, you know, we not trying to promote no gambling because I know everybody can't do it in their state where they are right now and everything
yeah,
like that. You know. But now some come about and somehow, some way we got like some type of sponsorship or something. Then at that point, yeah, all right, we got to do
no,
what we got to do.
it
But
is.
we got to do what we got to do then. But nah, man, we for real, we really appreciate it. Man, continue to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow on all the social medias. We really do appreciate it, man. Um, love black women, cherish black women, protect black women. No means no.
No means no. Still,
Like I said, yep, still, man, as we transitioning in, as everybody's going back to school and everything like that, we gotta make sure that's still getting taken care of, man. Uh, man, shouts out to everybody I've been seeing a whole lot of wedding engagement, man. Shout out to everybody that's getting married
hey,
and everything, man.
over
Like,
at MT and
crazy, right?
it's going
Man,
crazy.
they
Not
going
talk love,
crazy, right? They going
man. Not
crazy
talk love is going.
for real.
Yeah, nah, for
So it's going up. It's going
sure.
up
Yeah,
for sure, man. But yeah, for sure, man. Y'all be safe out here, man. Protect yourselves. Like I said, continue to like and subscribe to the podcast. We definitely appreciate it, man. Until the next time, this has been another episode of the Easy Money Sports Podcast.
peace.